simply focus on one specific thing. This is flows, and flows are critical for market levels to sustain. And I was talking about this on Friday. What we have over the weekend is the industry data of the number of the amount of money which has come into equity mutual funds. I mean, so before I put the data out, every day you get the number in terms of how much local investors have invested into markets or taken out. Same for FIIs. This data is monthly, and it essentially tells you how much of investors handed over to mutual funds. Equity mutual funds, essentially. So let's just look at that data. It starts from December 2015. If you can quickly change and get to the latest number, which is the number for November of 2016. The reason why the November 2016 is important, there you go, the last one is important, is because this factors in the impact of or lack of impact of demonetization. I mean, you know, there is one question which has also kind of become a cliche but relevant nevertheless across industries, is to ask, well, what has been the impact of demonetization to your business? I mean, that's absolutely relevant. But if you look at these flows into equity mutual funds, it's actually extremely steady. So last month it was 9,394 crores, which investors handed over to mutual funds, equity mutual funds. And in November, that number has barely come off to about 9,079 crores. I mean, I've taken the flow into equity, equity ELSS. What I've not done is taken the flow into balanced funds. I mean, you know, many people for the purpose of calculation take the balanced number as well. But then you have to make assumptions. I mean, 15 to debt, 15 to equity. If you take that number as well, say 50% of the flow into balanced funds as part of this, then the number, total number into equity goes up beyond about 10,500 crores or so. I mean, I think it's a important number to track, because as FII flows get volatile, I mean, you know, the amount of money which local mutual funds get from local investors is pretty critical. FIIs since November 8th have sold about $2.7 billion. You know, I was talking about that on Friday. So you have to have a counter, and this is the counter, the big flows, which continue to come in. And I think one could say thank God for that.
Yes, absolutely. We were just talking about how FII flows might not sustain beyond the 4 sessions of buying that we've seen. So let's see whether they manage to or not, considering that the Nifty is a bit sluggish in today's trading session.